Time for another stock review, this time LandBridge Company, ticker symbol LB. We'll make ticker symbol LB. Is that what I said? We're making this on a live show. It's Christmas Eve. It's a members-only live event. We're having a wonderful time. People calling in. It's just absolutely fantastic on a Christmas Eve special this afternoon, going live all day. We're going to review this one, which is interesting because it links perfectly to another stock we did, TPL. We're going to look at the balance sheet, the profit, the loss, the balance sheet. Just said that twice. It's Christmas, isn't it? The margins and all the rest of it. We're also going to take a deep dive and look at the website, see what the company do. We're also going to compare it to do a back test against the S&P and, of course, TPL. Look at the ratings, look at the news, look at the earnings. We're going to cover all of that on this review. Full disclosure, as you know, I only own the S&P. This is my portfolio. I'm breaking all-time records pretty much all the time. There's my portfolio today, up $1.5 grand. It was up at $700 yesterday to $2,300 a day in 24 hours. I said we'd have a Santa rally. We have. I went all in. I put margin all over it, went massively in, and there it is. There's my portfolio balance, 136,000, another all-time high today, and we haven't even received the S&P dividends yet, so it's looking extremely good to meet my target of 150 grand end of the year and 1 million easily now by the end of the decade. But let's talk about LandBridge. What is it? Let's get straight into it. Please tap the like button if you like this and consider subscribing. We're doing all our members reviews today, Christmas Eve special. I'm here with you until the bell rings, not taking a break at all. Merry Christmas and Happy Christmas to everyone. Let's first of all look at the chart, the basic line chart. We start off nice and simple. Looks quite nice there. It's quite a new stock though, isn't it? It IPO'd here in 2024, just out. Excuse me. It's done well since the IPO. Normally, IPOs back in 2020 didn't do very well. They all collapsed. This one has done well, and it's done extra well since Drill Baby Drill, Donald Trump, and so on and so forth. Same way as TPL did. We're going to compare the two in a minute, side by side. But looking great right now, but it's very early days on this stock, isn't it? But nevertheless, it's looking very good over this year. But most stocks have done well this year, let's be honest. We're not going to use that as a buy zone, are we? LandBridge engages in the ownership of land that is used to energy development and production. Now, we like this kind of thing. Like I said before, when I showed you TPL, I thought it was just the perfect business. I don't mean, excuse me, the stock price has had like 30,000% or whatever it is upwards. We've had a recent selling. That happened because of the price of oil went down, and because of if oil goes down, stocks related to it went down. It's a perfect time to reconsolidate, buy more, makes perfect sense. Maybe people took profit from that to buy this one. That's a possibility, but it's the perfect business when you own the land that people then put their business on. If the businesses then fail, somebody else will come in and you can have rent from them. And because we've got power now being the focus of the Trump administration, particularly oil, particularly solar panels, energy, data centers with Elon Musk and so on and so forth. Don't be surprised if Elon Musk puts solar panels all over this land here, and it all does well. So we like this. It's a perfect business where you have no expenses really. You just own land and everybody just pays you to work the land. This is why we like TPL, but this is our first look at LandBridge. So it holds ownership in project areas in the Delaware sub-basin. Now we have TPL is Permian Basin. This is the Delaware Basin in the prolific Permian Basin. Oh, there we go. I think it's the same place. All right, I'm not doing geography, but I think it's pretty much in the same place actually, which is the active region for oil and natural gas. In fact, it is the same place, and development in the United States. The company was founded on September 27th and is headquartered in Houston, Texas, not far from me. I'm in Dallas. The listed name for LB is LandBridge. Jason Long is the CEO. And if you'd like Jason Long on the show, he can certainly be on the show. I never cold call or say, "Oi, Jason, do you want to come on my show?" But if you are an investor in the stock, in the company, and you'd like them on the show, I rank number one for most stocks that I cover. It will draw a lot of attention to the stock. More people will learn about it. So what do? You simply email investor relations at this company, and you can get them on the show and tell them all about what we do, put them in touch with us, and we can go from there. Fantastic. All right, now let's have a look at it here. The market cap is 1 billion. Volume is nothing. Interesting. People buy and don't trade. Looks like no overnight volume at all. No one buying, no one selling, just we're already in, and that's interesting. Never seen that before, where there's no overnight volume. Average volume, 523,000. There's no volume at all. It's just buy and hold, which, can be a good thing. Price earnings ratio, 13.43. Okay, looks like a good buy then. Initially, price earnings ratio in the sector is good. It's making money. It's good. It's not a negative. It's good. This could be interesting. No dividend here, but we've just announced a dividend. I'm going to share with you the dividend in a moment. All right. So there you go. Let's look at the analysis that Morningstar say. I don't use this as my buy zone, my buy guide, because they're paid to say this. I do it for free. 57% say buy, 43% say hold, no one saying selling. It's so new, though. There's been no real selling so far, so no surprise, really. We can't draw much from that. Robinhood investors, they're just scalp trading it in and out, so not really bothered. They can't really move this stock anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. What about insiders? Well, when it went up so much, they started to sell. Is that much? Should we be worried? It looks very low to me. I would guess it's an uninformative sell. There you go. Uninformative sell. What's that? That is basically tax selling. That's okay. Informative sell, open market. We don't like that. That means they're selling it above their automated actions. This is uninformative sell via grant and reward and blah, 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 automatic transactions. That is not a negative then. If they were selling their own shares through manual operated trades on the open market, that would be potential negativity, especially in such a new stock, just IPO. That would be pretty crazy, but you never know, they could do that. But they haven't. This is just normal tax positions and automatic transactions. So we're okay with that. So far, good. So far, we like it. We like this sector anyway. And we also like the fact that no one is selling. All right, that is not an issue. The earnings, that the first earnings disappointed to the point that it was actually a loss. I think I can't tell from there. I'll look at the numbers in a minute, but it missed earnings anyway. It's the first one, we can forgive that. The second, and the expectations has gone up. March the 5th. If we get someone do a super chat of minimum $5 and say, hey, yeah, cover the earnings for it, we will cover the earnings for it, and then we'll have a lot more information, right? So we can cover the earnings for that if you want us to. Can't draw much from that then. Who else is buying it? There you go. No surprise at all. Texas Pacific Land. And I'm looking at this for the first time, right? This is all just experience now. I can pretty much see where it's going and blah, blah, blah. Just like I said to you, we're going to get a massive Santa rally, and we did. And I've made $2,200 in 24 hours. I've broken all-time highs. There you go. The longer I do this, the more information I gain, the more chances are of me getting this right. I knew that would be in there. Texas Pacific Land, Broadcom. Okay, Rocket Lab. Bit of volatility there, but okay. Taiwan Semi, MicroStrategy, obviously volatility there, Bitcoin. Nvidia, great, solid. Supermicro, a little bit risky. Palantir, too expensive. SoundHound, yes. Palo Alto, ARM Holdings, CrowdStrike, okay. Reddit, wouldn't touch that. There we go. So There are some good blue chip companies in there, a bit of volatility as well, people profit taking. But what is most interesting is it's recognized by TPL. Now, right off the beginning of the bat, what did I say? And this actually makes sense now because we had so much trimming. Just the more we think about this, there's so much trimming from TPL. I bet you a penny to the pound, people took profit from TPL to buy LandBridge. That makes sense, doesn't it? It's a very similar sector. Yeah, they just bought another bit of land, which another oil field, another solar farm, another data center. Doesn't matter which ones. Right, the point is you own the land; they're all going to pay you anyway. I would imagine people took profit from TPL to buy this. That kind of is a bullish sign then on the sector. Why not? If you've got the same industry, just land for the same stuff. If you got this one up here, you take your money to buy the one down here, you can do it again, right? It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense to me. To me, it does anyway. Anyway. If you like this so far, tap the like button and consider subscribing. We've got 2 hours to go before the bell goes. We're trying to do all our members' reviews today as a Christmas gift to you all on Christmas Eve. Okay. Now then, let's have a look. Use this first of all. We're going to look at this going back to 2015. Okay. With the S&P, LandBridge, Texas Pacific Land. Let's remember that LandBridge, even though it just IPO'd, it's been around for longer than that. If we look at this, since 2015, $10,000 would have rewarded you in the S&P a 3x. 34,000, you 35, 3.5. Fantastic. LandBridge would have taken you from 10 to 12. So not a huge gain, and that's LandBridge is in green. LandBridge was here. It fell all the way off. Now you can see why they IPO'd, right? They raised money. Then it started to climb during COVID, 2020, COVID play, went sideways, did nothing, right? Did nothing at all. And then we IPO'd, dropped and up. Okay, so LandBridge has performed the least. Texas Pacific Land, been around a lot longer, 459,000, $500,000 from 10,000. Think of it, $500,000 from 10,000. Bloody hell. I would have been a multi-millionaire if I'd put my amount of portfolio back then in 2015. Flipping heck. Big time. Anyway, the S&P 500 in blue has been in the center, steadily going along. So now you can see how it compares. It doesn't compare to Texas Pacific Land. It's done well now, though, and people have taken profit to buy back this. Interesting. All right, okay. Let's now look at the ratings. Now, if you'd like to get my Seeking Alpha and Alpha spread, it's below. It's in the chat right now for those watching me make the video. It's also below in the description, so you can get it there, and also pinned to the comments. You can all get free trials of all the software that I'm using, discounts without my referral. You can't, and all the rest of it. So you might want to consider using my software. Right, so first of all, Seeking Alpha analysts say hold. Don't put any value into that. Wall Street say it's a buy. Quant says it's a hold. So far, it's good. And because I like this industry, it's already a winner for me. I'm already interested in this, so I'm leaning towards a buy, especially with what's recently happened. If we look at the short interest, 12.74%. We haven't got the volume. So shorting this stock is a bad idea. We haven't got a short squeeze. That's not going to happen. I don't think this is a stock to short, even though some people are trying their luck at it. I never short stocks ever. I only buy stocks. I don't short. I don't do options. It's not for me at all. I'm just getting back LandBridge as I just closed it for a moment. LandBridge, there it is. So there's not enough volume for a short squeeze, and the short interest is quite high. It's bringing the price down perhaps, but it's still powering up. So these shorts are going to get crushed. These people here trying to go against the system are going to lose money, but you're not going to get a short squeeze from it. Okay, it's just not enough. Okay, let's have a look at this. The valuation, expensive. It's expensive and got worse over the last 3 months. No surprise, it popped up after the IPO. It's expensive right now. Growth, though, however, A+. Profitability from B+ to C. Dropped very, very slightly to C. Only very slightly. B+, B, B-, C+, C. It's dropped a few grades there to C. But so it's a bit expensive at this level. Momentum A+, and revisions F. There we go. There is the factor grades. Let's look at this. This was out. This is the Q3 24, which was out 7th of November, I believe it was. Now, if you remember, I just showed you we actually missed significantly, and you can see here misses by 3 cents. Revenue 28.4 million, misses by 5 million. Okay, it's quite a miss then, to say the least. The following slide deck, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We don't need that. I just wanted to bring you the numbers, so now we can see exactly what it missed. When I was sharing you this screen, we couldn't see exactly. Now we know what it is. It did miss by 3 cents and a miss of 5 million on revenue. Quite considerable. Okay, so I don't need that now. Let me show you more of this. So LandBridge, net loss of 2.8 million, revenue of 28.5 million, up 9.6 year over year, net loss margin of 10%, adjusted EBITDA of 25 million, up 62% year over year, adjusted EBITDA margin of 88%, cash flow from operating activities 7.5 million, free cash flow 7.1 million. Now we are going to compare these numbers in a minute to TPL. LandBridge Company LLC declares 10 cents dividend. So even though we didn't show you the dividend earlier, there is now a dividend with LandBridge. This is new. We've now got a dividend, which we like. People that buy this stock do like the dividend. So very, very nice indeed. 10 cents a share, quarterly dividend, forward yield 0.65, payable 19th of December. So it's gone for shareholders, recorded December the 5th, ex-dividend date, December the 5th. Okay, very, very nice indeed. Now, let me show you the website so you can get a bit more an understanding of the business. Here it is, and then we're going to go into the analysis in deeper numbers. We actively manage our land and resources to support and encourage energy and industrial development. I'm not going to go into too much of this, but I think you get the idea. It's a very similar structure, or it appears to be from my first initial look here, to TPL. Buying land for people to work upon sounds good to me. All right, if you want more information, LandBridge.com, you can get that. And if you go to Investor Relations, you can invite them onto the show. Right, so tap the like button if you like this so far, and consider subscribing. It's Christmas Eve. We're making this on a special Christmas Eve show. Let's have a look. Now we're going to compare like for like right now. So here we go. First of all, base case, undervalued by 32%. Undervalued by 32%. TPL, overvalued by 74%. Makes sense, right? People took profit. Older company, massive rally since all the Trump and the Elon Musk and all that stuff. Massive rally, overpriced. Everyone took profit, drove it back down, and they've gone and bought LandBridge. Is it really a surprise? Not really. Okay, makes sense. But of course, it will move back again at some point. Let's scroll down. What have we got next? Okay, let's look at the revenue. 90 million in revenue. TPL, if we scroll down and let's see what their revenue is. Revenue. 686 million, up 686 million, and we've got 90 million, a much, much smaller company, obviously. Operating income on LandBridge, 29, we've losing money, right? We're negative, as we just learned from the earnings. TPL, much older company, much more established, 530 million, we're up 0.1. Okay, all right. Let's go back to LandBridge. It's difficult going in and out from one to the other, but I'm trying my best here. Where is it? LandBridge. Okay. Scrolling on down. Let's look at the assets for the business. 689 million in assets. 592 in liability. They've been spending money recently. Long-term debt, 242. Nearly 50% of their money has recently gone is long-term debt. There you go. You can see it there. 40%. So that's why the stock is expensive at the moment. It's half of its liabilities is in debt. Let's compare that to TPL. I can already know the situation is way better. 1.2 billion in assets, 123 million, and we've got no debt. We've got no short term. We've got no long term. So basically, LandBridge is trying to be a TPL. It's borrowing money, it's spending money to try to grow. TPL is already there, but people are taking profit, of course, because it's massively gone up, and now they're buying this one. It kind of makes sense. All right, balance sheet. If we scroll down back to LandBridge again, 98% gross margin. Right, compare that to TPL, 93% gross margin. Better gross margin on LandBridge. However, the net margin after all expenses, because they're spending money at the moment, probably acquiring land, I would imagine, is negative 46. All right. Whereas you can see 65% is TPL. So TPL is a better business right now, but people are taking profit to buy another one. That's down at the moment. All makes perfect sense, right? So if we look at the profitability, 42% on LandBridge, TPL, 87%. No brainer. But that's why it's had the massive rally, right? LandBridge, 32% solvency. No surprise. It's spending a lot of money right now, but its business model will be good. This could be an opportunity to buy the new TPL, if you like. Anyway, 32% solvency, TPL, 81% solvency. Okay, right, back to LandBridge once again. Scroll down. If we look at the forecast, 38% downside from here, potentially, but we're not in that. We're in average or best, I would say right now. 15% upside, 46% upside. How does that compare to TPL? Well, we can compare that 50% downside, 48% downside. Why? Because it's had a massive rally. People are now trimming it and buying it back lower, or they're going to buy LandBridge. So there you go. There is my thoughts on it. Not much more to say on that. So LandBridge, I like the sector. I like the business. Do you want to buy? Do you want to take profits from something that's made, I don't know, tens of thousands, 30,000%, whatever it is? Forget what it is right now, percent profit, and buy back LandBridge. LandBridge is a much newer company. How long has it been around for? I know it only IPO'd recently, but how long has it been around for? It doesn't say on this here for some reason. Normally tell them the date, but for some reason, show more. Yeah, they founded 2023. That's when it went public, but... Anyway, you've got a choice now between the history of TPL, much better balance sheet, much better profits, much better margin, however, very much more expensive. People taking profits to buy this. I think it's safe to buy this at the end of the day because it's in the same sector, the same business. We know that this is going to do great under Trump. We know this whole sector is going to do well. Why not take profit from a stock you've made thousands of percent to buy a lower one? But remember, this is not the same business at the moment. It's the same business model, but it's not got the cash, the balance sheet, and everything else. And it wouldn't have, would it? It's much, much newer. It has to acquire land. It has to do that. But, of course, TPL can do it. Who would you rather buy? Apple's expensive. Do you want to buy Apple or a competitor to Apple doing the same thing? Maybe you buy Apple, stay buying Apple. I don't know. It's a very interesting stock. I like what they're doing. I think if I was having to choose between the two, I would stay with TPL. I would be just adding more on the way down. That's what I would be doing. Anyway, the choice is yours. Very interesting stock, though. All right. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. You'll have all the alpha spread seeking alpha. It's also in the chat for everybody watching live right now. Also pinned to the comments. Over here, I shall put my LandBridge playlist. I'll create a playlist for this. If anybody wants the earnings review, that will go there. Down here, I shall put my alpha spread playlist. All of the reviews that I've done must be over 300 stocks now, including TPL recently. And you can go and check all that out. There you go. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.